Tooling's all done. I have 2 coats of acrylic resolene on this. I let it dry overnight as well. I do have a video on dyeing, burnishing, and sealing, but for this, the antiquing, I like to use a large brush like that, and I'll put a pretty good amount. I got a couple pieces of tape on here too so it doesn't just soak into this cardboard. And I'll get a good amount on this, and I'll have paper towels ready to go on the side because you want to do this as quick as you can. The moisture will slowly work into that acrylic resolene. So I'll try to work in sections real fast. But you don't have to put tons on it, you just want to make sure everything gets a good coat. And instead of trying to do the whole thing, I'll do a little section like that. Go over real quick, grab a new paper towel. And you can flip it over, keep it real flat, and don't press down too hard. Just trying to pull it off of the surface and let it stay down in them cracks and things. So once you get to this point, you can give it a second, but as soon as you start laying that antiquing down on there, you want to speed through the process. Make sure you have enough paper towels handy. If you let this sit too long, it's going to start working into that acrylic resolene. If you see there's a spot where you got a little bit more than you want, still hold this kind of flat, don't work it in there, but just press lightly and work up the pressure until you grab just enough off of there. And after it's sat for just a minute, I'll spray a paper towel with just a tiny bit of moisture. You don't want it saturated, just moist. And I'll hold it as flat as I can and just very lightly come across this to give it some highlights. It doesn't pull up a ton, but just enough to kind of bring them highlights out just a tiny bit more. Now after that point, I'll let this sit and completely dry. I'll come back with just a tiny bit of the antiquing with a brush, and I can shade like in the center of the flowers and stuff. Alright, so it's pretty well dry. I'll put just a tiny bit of antiquing on this brush, and you can see I get almost all of it off. And just slowly work it in for some shading. Tap it with your finger a little bit if you need to get some off, blend it around. Now that the antiquing is dry, there's a couple different ways I usually do this. One is to spray the acrylic resolene over the top and blot it with a sponge, and I'll switch to clean paper towels and things and start in the bright spots and work my way towards dark spots and try as much as I can not to spread it around. One thing that really helps is let this dry completely. Another thing I do if I just want to start working on this right away is I'll give it a quick spray with this workable fixative. I'll spray it from this angle, flip it around, and spray it from this angle real lightly. Try to get into the grooves and things.